Good morning. It's another day here in the shop, and we had a little mishap happen. So you saw the videos where we cleaned the frame, we put the front suspension underneath it, the rear suspension, and we were getting ready to hopefully get the motor in, transmission in, all that. And all that took place. But the problem was the SD card that the days and days of work were on left the chat. It's gone. There's no recovering it. It's pretty disheartening as a creator that something that you put so many hours into can go away so quickly for no reason. So, got a new SD card, and what I'm gonna do here to finish this video up, and it probably won't be a long video because there was literally a couple weeks worth of work that, that was lost. So I'm gonna show you the state of the frame. I'm gonna walk you through it, tell you what I did to it. And then in the upcoming videos, we'll start on the cab and getting it ready, and then get ready for everything else that goes onto the truck. So let me show you what we have done so far. All right, as you can see, there is a lot of work that has taken place. So I'm gonna go ahead and start from the front and work my way back and just kind of explain to you what I have going on here. So we have the motor, which is a 5.3. It has a Chupacabra cam. What a name, but it's kind of cool. In it, new lifters, new everything. Everything's new in the motor. We installed the ACES fuel injection, which I told you we were going to use on this video. I do have the wiring all hooked up for the motor, less a couple sensors. That's with a different wire pack. Was able to put all the new accessories on the front. I used the Tejas Motorsports or Tejas Fabrication, their motor mounts and transmission mount, and it worked amazing. I'm just going to tell you, if you're looking for an easier way to put in a 5.3 or 6.0 or whatever into it, you use your factory, let me get down in here, you use your factory motor mount that bolts directly to the cross member, and you're only using their motor mount that actually mounts to the motor. But with that, you're able to use the factory style AC compressor. So this has to be clearanced just a little bit right in here when we're ready to put the lines on, but it fit in there perfectly. In fact, I set this motor down in here fully dressed. So I built it on a stand and then was able to just set it right in there. So we've got all new components on the front and all new everything. You name it on the front, it's done. I don't like problems, even though I have had a lot of new part problems in the past. I just assume if it's gonna work, let's go ahead and put the newer products on it. So we got the starter installed, we got all our sensors, our NOx sensors, we got the headers. I went with a different style of header this time. I did a shorty instead of a cast iron. I was having problems with the cast iron headers, the Hollies in particular. They would break off back here at the very back of the flange. And I had two of them do that, and I went ahead, and I wasn't happy with the sealing gaskets that they were using on those. So I went to V-band clamps, just like we did on the race cars, so it would be easier to take apart, and I'll show you that back with the exhaust. Of course, we have the suspension, everything's underneath there. Was able to get the power steering pump on and plumbed. We were having problems with the spark plug wires hitting the headers, so of course I covered those up. We have the regulator already set in here, so we've got our feed line here, goes through and deadheads into the regulator and then returns back out to the tank. So I'll show you that here in a minute. We got the trans put in. I was able to reuse and modify this a little bit for the shifter, so I could use the factory style shifter into the 4L60. Of course, you can see the V-bands that we used on the exhaust. So as we go back, got everything wired already. Like I said, everything's marked really good on Aces. You know exactly where it goes. A lot of tags on there. It's pretty easy, straightforward. Got the, we went with drive-by cable, drive-by cable this time instead of drive-by-wire. So already have that on here, so we can go directly into the firewall. Was able to rebuild, all the brakes in the past, so we retained the emergency brake, parking brake, whichever one you want to call it. Got the brake lines completely ran inside the frame. They run to the front, come across and drop back off on this side. I'm going to try to do something a little different on my brake lines on this truck. I really don't want to see many wires on this. So I'm going to do a frame mount battery on it instead of one that's in the engine compartment, just to keep it clean. Was able to build the exhaust myself and get it all put in here, and it comes out and dumps. Was able to get the C notches in. I know we talked about that in the last video. Got the C notches in, and I did it both ways. It's a bolt-in C notch, but I went ahead and welded it also. Some people say, oh, you got to bolt them in. Some people say, oh, you need to weld them in. Well, I just made it easy and just did them both. So we've got that all taken care of. The rear end's in place. Everything is done. We got our pinion angle set, or I'm going to recheck it when we put the body on it, but for all practical purposes, it's set up. Was able to put the new tank in. So the tank is a factory tank, and I added the low profile Aces fuel pump that has a 6 in, 6 out, 6 AN in and 6 AN out. I do have to run the wires to it once I get the body harness put on it, and then used a stock style fuel pressure gauge sender. That's all I'm using out of that is just the sender, so I can know that. Went ahead and put new braces on there. So in all essence, this is completely ready to go. I'll have to run my transmission lines, a few wires. Other than that, it's pretty much ready to go. So now we're going to cover this thing up, because one of the problems I always have is in the essence of trying to get a video out on time, forget to just cover everything up, and then you get to cut and grind and doing body work, and the next thing you know, you've got dust everywhere. The frame looks good, so I really don't want to mess with it and have to go back through and clean everything again. So we're going to cover this, put it back in the corner, and then we are going to start on put the new cab floor in it. I've got it sitting back here in the back. Put the new firewall in it, which is done. Hang the new doors, get everything to fit perfectly. Put new rockers in it. So we got new inner and outer rockers. We've got cab corners. A little bit of everything. Got all new glass, regulators. Everything's going to go into this. So we do have the color picked out, and a little hint of what that color is going to be. Kind of, you can check on the block, but it's not going to be this color, but a variation of it. And I know when we started the video off, we decided to name this truck Bluegrass, and it's a green truck, and we're going to make it a blue truck. So I've got a thing about blues. So if you know me personally, you know my relationship with blue vehicles. So I really like my blues. So we're going to do that, and hopefully this project will finish up as easy as it's gotten to this far. The biggest problem I had was the video. I really didn't have any problems so far with the truck. A lot of thoughtful planning, a lot of research will get you a long way when you're doing a project like this. And I know people a lot of times will start a project and never finish it because it gets overwhelming. And you know, it's just persistence. To me, once I get a project like this finished, I have the pleasure of being able to look at it and just say to myself, you know, man, I got that, and it looks decent. You know, this isn't going to be a SEMA build or anything like that, but I want a good, nice, clean driver. So we're going to paint this ourselves. We're going to put it all together. So far, I've used no help in this at all. I think the only thing I'm going to ask for help with would be to put in the windshield. Other than that, I think there's really not much I can't do all alone by myself, which makes it a little challenging when you're filming too, because you know, you're trying to get work done. And I'm known to put, you know, 10, 12, 14 hours in the shop, and to remember a lot of times to film certain events. You know, hey, I'm not complaining. This is just part of the game. This is what you've got to do. So I do appreciate it. You know, everybody who's reached out and supported it. You know, of course, give a shout out again to Replica Classics. You're going to be able to see their parts coming up. So all the body metal that's going on here all came from Replica Classics. Bumpers, everything is coming from them. So you're going to be able to see the quality of their products, the selection of products that they have. So as always, you know, give them a shout if you need any kind of restoration parts, because they have those for not just, you know, C10s. They have stuff for Ford trucks. They have it for, you know, muscle cars, older cars, you just name it. They can see if they can get that for you. So, crazy bug lands right on my nose. Anyway, they can get you what you need. So always reach out to Replica Classics. Good company, good people. And I've really enjoyed the relationship that we've formed so far. So anyway, we're going to end this here. I hope that the explanation explains why the video hasn't came out as quickly as I wanted it to. And hopefully we can not have any more problems following along. So thanks again. Thanks for sticking around with us and listening to me babble for a little while. But we're going to get on to building some more. So thanks again for watching. Thanks again for stopping in by Garage 3030. We'll talk to you soon.